Podcast City Network.
And good evening, everyone. You're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Tonight, my guest is Indy pro wrestler Sean Tyler, and we're going to be talking to him about his upcoming match this weekend at Horror Slam and much, much more. Let's talk wrestling. Let's have a good night of wrestling talk. Tune in right now, fans. Hey, you're on the air, Sean. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Dave?
I'm doing pretty good, man. The weather's, back to normal like we want it to be, I'm fucking tired of this shitty-ass weather,
Yeah, trust me, I hear you. I'm all the way in Michigan. The weather out here is as bipolar as some of the women.
Yeah, right? That's probably true. That's probably true, But here at the Jersey Shore, they're all whores, Come on.
Jeez.
No, you know how it is. The sleazy Guido bitches and all that stupid shit, I don't know. I don't follow that shit, though.
I've heard stories, but I haven't been out there. Maybe soon.
Yes. So how you doing? Pretty good?
I'm doing great.
You got a big event coming up this weekend, Horror Slam, man. This is like something awesome,
Yeah, it's tomorrow night actually out here in Riverview at Rocky's Pub.
Yeah,
gonna be a crazy event.
I mean, I know one of the guys, Jeff King. There, the King right there.
Yeah.
One crazy son of a bitch, but he's ready for maybe you'll get in there. Who knows, right? But you could take that title. You could take that title away from him.
We'll see. I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what the whole plan for tomorrow is. I know I got a match tomorrow. It's supposed to be me and my tag partner, Justin Pilgrim, but unfortunately, Justin Pilgrim got injured last weekend. So,
oh no,
we're going to find out what's going on.
Oh man, what happened with him?
He dislocated his shoulder and his elbow.
Fuck.
And he's looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months on the shelf.
Oh, man, that kills it. That always kills. And I'm sure you've had injuries where you've been out, and it's like, oh, fuck, I missed this shit,
I have been lucky. Like, the worst amount of time I've had to take off is a few weeks.
Right.
The worst injuries I've had is I've had some bruised shoulders.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, actually, they all happened with the same guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah. The first time, it was early on in my career, first couple of years in the business.
Yeah.
Ran a spot with a guy, went to go give him the kick that's now known as the Claymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he was down on his knees. Went to give him the Claymore, and guy wouldn't bump for me.
Mm-hmm.
Fell on my shoulder.
Wow.
So, yeah, tried the same spot again. Like a month later, after my shoulder had healed up and everything, he was on one knee, didn't bump for me.
Right.
Landed on my other shoulder because of him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, third time trying that spot in a row. You'd think I'd have learned after the first 2 times.
Yeah.
Working the Claymore cable, he was standing. At this point, I just realized he was a fucking asshole because he didn't bump for me, and I landed on my right shoulder again. And I refused to ever work with that guy again because he was literally just being a dick to me.
Being like a jinx to you, like you could never.
Yep.
And just could not get rid of the pain, his pain on you actually, but the more of the suffering, you had to deal with all the injury, But how long have you been in business now?
This August 9th to be exact, I've been in the business for 13 years.
Holy shit, that's pretty good. That's pretty long. That's pretty good for, being still active. And do you do a lot of the death matches?
I actually have not yet done
Oh, really?
death matches.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against them.
Yes.
I generally am not a deathmatch guy. But
Yeah, you love it. You love watching. Yeah, you like watching it. You like watching it, learning a little bit of it. Right?
Yeah, especially because one of the guys I consider a mentor, you had brought up old timer Jeff King.
Yes.
He does death matches.
Yes.
I considered doing the death matches. I just haven't gotten to a point.
Right.
Where
you're comfortable.
I find it necessary.
Where
I guess.
it
hasn't.
Like you're not in your comfort zone yet.
Not so much that. I just I feel like it's something for somebody like me. It would have to be a build for a story or something like that, and I just haven't found a story that it makes sense in yet.
Right. Well, I'll come down the line. You never know, right? Down the line, I'm sure you've done hardcore matches, so like regular street fights, and
Oh yeah, quite a few of those. Mm-hmm. My last girlfriend used to get pissed off at me when I had to pick thumbtacks out of my back. So.
Yeah, thumbtacks nowadays, you forget about it. There's millions of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I see tons of thumbtacks like every week or whenever I go to a show. It's like, holy shit, I help buy them too, Go to the dollar store. That's what we do,
Right.
You just buy the local, the silver ones. That's it, Throw them on a bat or just throw them in the ring, Just throw them right in the middle of the ring for them to use, I mean, it's really the cheapest gimmick, still around,
Yep, one of the best visuals, too, because
it really is.
Sitting up and seeing all those thumbtacks just sticking in somebody's back, it's cringeworthy if you're not the one taking it.
No. And then if it's in your hair, it's in the head, my God, they make it like mohawks now. My God, it's like your skull is covered, It's like...
Yeah.
But wow, yeah. So you got a match this weekend. That's gonna be awesome. That's I wish I was in that area to go. I'd love to see it. Horror Slam. I heard that they've done that before too. I think they've had a couple of Horror Slams. I'm sure, right? Correct.
Yeah. This promotion, Horror Slam, has actually been running for. Yeah. I think it's now going on almost a year and a half. Mm-hmm. They started at the end of 2017,
right?
And I started working for them a year ago in April of 2018.
Mm-hmm. And you kept going back, and look where you are, still there, right?
Yeah. Initially, I went in because a lot of it is horror-based stuff mixed with deathmatch, mixed with other wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's kind of an all-around kind of variety stylish show. Mm-hmm. But you have guys that are doing like horror gimmicks or horror-based gimmicks and things like that. Like there's a couple guys that do monster gimmicks. There's a guy that around Christmas time did the what was it called? The Krampus gimmick.
Yeah.
And then you have other guys that come in and do, we had a guy that dresses up like the Crypt Keeper. Mm-hmm. There's a regular that does a mummy gimmick. And then you got a couple guys that, actually a couple of buddies of mine, Edward Viculoso and Atlas Hightower, doing the Ghostbusters gimmick, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you got me and my guys who are currently running a gimmick based off of the Purge movies. We're called The Purge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been doing that since May of last year.
Right.
And then you've got also another horror-based gimmick. It's kind of it's like Slipknot meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a group called Dead Seven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm also seeing Peter Be Beautiful, and I think what is his name? There's another guy there. I'm noticing a picture of him. I can't think of his name. Gory, is that it?
Yeah, Jason Gore. Yeah, yes. He's going to be at this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Be Beautiful.
What a crazy guy. Yes, he's great. He's a great character. He's a great...
Chuck Stein, the Downriver Dirty White Boy.
Yeah.
Last show we had Nick Gage. Nick Gage won our Deathmatch Championship, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick's everywhere, man. I'm sure you noticed that. He's fucking.
Especially with the DCW stuff.
Oh, it's killing. Oh, it's killing, man. It's you know what, WrestleMania weekend, it blew the water out, you know, for their show. I wish I was there. I didn't get to go. All my friends were on that WrestleMania. I watched it on the Fight Network. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch the Fight TV network. Just watch it. It's my backyard almost, you know. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with the tourists and all this shit, you know. All the fucking, you know, when I go sit home and watch it on my TV. And then save up for like the big tournaments, you know, because that's the real shit, you know, like in June, the big TOS tournament that they do, you know, like in the local show coming to Asbury Park May 3rd, so I can't wait, like a Friday night show.
Nice.
You know, and I'm waiting, and of course I CZW is having TOD, so I cannot miss that, you know.
Oh, absolutely. You know? I've been dying to go to a tournament of death.
Yeah, this year they're actually bringing a guy from UK in, which is really awesome. Big Joe FX, you know, one of the big deathmatch guy that works for, I guess, Rise, and a whole bunch of other, you know, UK promotions. But he's there's another guy, Casanova Valentine. I'm sure you've seen that name everywhere. You know, he's in it this year too, so it's awesome. He was there in last year's too.
Yeah, that's a name I'm familiar with.
Yeah, man, he runs that bar, you know, no ring deathmatch, you know, no ring shit. That's really fucking. He kills it with that shit, you know. It's awesome. Yeah. Wherever he takes it, you know, fucking Orlando to fucking Chicago to you name it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn. Just think he's based out of Brooklyn. It's hard for everybody. It's a Wednesday night that he does his shows, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he does it out, you know, on a Wednesday night. It's like, damn, if I was in that area, I'd go, you know? If I had a day off, take a day.
That would be a hell of a night right there. That'd be a hell of a Wednesday night.
Yeah, right, drinking right in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
No, not one bit.
No. But, yeah, what else? What other events are coming up for you? What other shows you got? Tons?
Right now,
just that one, or
right now it's a little slow for me because a couple of the promotions I work for are taking a short
hiatus
break. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got this one.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Next weekend I have. I'll check my calendar here real quick. Next weekend, I think it's next.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm in Peru, Indiana, for another promotion called PWK. Mm-hmm. That's
okay. I know that.
Small little promotion down there.
Yeah, PWK. I've heard about them.
Yeah,
they're new base. Yeah,
and then
that's cool.
That Sunday is XICW back up here in the Detroit area, the 5th. Mm-hmm. Running their proving ground shows at Hot Rocks in Detroit.
Oh, cool.
I'm not currently
booked yet,
listed for anything there right now, but I'm always there hanging out and you never know whether or not I might pop up in the ring. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the next ones that I know for sure are it's May 10th, I think. It's either May 10th or May 18th.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the exact, but that's the next Horror Slam. Mm-hmm. That Friday night.
Wow, man! I wish you could. I wish you could have gotten hooked up with Matt Tremont for the double. They're having a big show in May, I think it is. The big. There's a big roster this year for like the. It's deathmatch, but it's also wrestling, of course. You know the big.
Nice.
I think it's like double tag team, like almost like a tag. Well, like it's like a big wars. You know, big war. Blood Wars, you know, it's gonna be called Blood War or something. It's awesome.
Yeah, Matt Tremont, I've had the pleasure of meeting a few times when I was working for IWA Mid-South a few years back.
Yeah,
he's an interesting cat. Definitely not somebody to fuck with.
No, but you know what? He's got the balls and he knows how to fucking play. You know, and he's owner of a lot of companies too. H2O, you know, like he runs a lot of stuff, which is really awesome. You know.
Hey, man, if you got the means to do it, dude, run with it.
Yeah. I mean, he first started out with this little shop, little thrift shop, little collectible shop, and then launched into wrestling, got right into his blood,
Nice.
And And every week, actually, what is it? What's today? I think they're actually doing training session right now. You know, the new kids are just trying. A lot of local kids and new talent. Just trying their luck tonight.
Nice.
It's
always good to see guys passing on the knowledge and passing on the skills to new guys.
Yeah, it is. It is because you don't know. You don't know where they'll be. They could make it and they can't make it. Hey, they tried.
Yeah, exactly. The most important thing is that they actually give it a shot and put their all in.
Yeah, and then when they learn, of course, the bumps and the promos and, just the way the etiquette and, just how it's run, how you're supposed to do it. What age did you get into wrestling?
I actually got in when I was 21. Mm-hmm. I'm actually originally from Michigan City, Indiana. It's northwest Indiana, over by Chicago. Mm-hmm. And a buddy of mine that, and it was taboo to talk about this 10 years ago, but a buddy of mine that I used to do backyard wrestling with told me, hey, I found a school in Coldwater, Michigan. And he starts showing.
Still there? Hello? Hold on, fans.
You there?
Yeah, still here.
Did I lose you?
Huh? Yeah, you lost me.
Sounded like I lost you for a second there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Here we are. Back on.
Okay. But yeah, he told me we gotta go. I'm like, okay, cool. And I didn't think he was serious about it. Then one day he shows up at my house and goes, hey, I've been training for the last month and a half. Where you been? I'm like, wait, I didn't think he was serious about going. So I ran down there with him during a training session. I hung out and watched. And, started going 2 weeks later. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do this. I started training down there in Coldwater, Michigan. Eventually moved there. Yeah. To finish my training because I was missing classes because I lived 2 hours away from there. And,
that's a little bit of a toll on you, too.
Yeah. So when I ended up moving there, the trainer at the time was, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but it's a guy named Josh Raymond.
No.
He used to work for Ring of Honor, and he was a part of in 2006, that Wrestling Society X show that was on MTV.
Okay. I remember that series. Yeah, because you had all the guys that we knew who was on there and shit. It was funny as hell. Crazy,
Yeah. So he was running the training out at Dan Severn's school at the time, so... Yeah. I went there, moved down there, finished my training, and Josh Raymond started getting me a lot of my bookings. By that time, I was 22 and just trying to get my face out there. Yeah. About 2006 at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you take that first step in through the curtain, first show. It's like, okay, here we go. Let's see let's see what they got for me, Yeah, because you don't know, you don't know what you're going to get yourself into. You're nervous, and
Yeah, and especially with some guys in the ring, because being a new guy in their business, especially around that time frame, and I tell people this all the time. I got in at probably one of the worst points in the business. I got in when gas prices had just hiked. They were like $3.50 a gallon at that point, just about in my area. Yeah. Promotions were falling apart. They were booking guys that would work for free or nothing more than like $20, and they were getting bad performers. So
I know how that. We know how that goes in the business. Those old promotions really drew guys around like a circus. It was like you didn't know what they didn't know what they were doing, and then they would close their doors and then rip you off.
Yep. And then basically, all the good promotions you hate, it was virtually impossible to get into a lot of them because you either had to be super friggin' elite, super athlete type, super indie type.
Still there? Hello? what's going on here. Fans, we're having a little technical difficulty. Fans, just bear with me. Technical problem with connections today. Wi-Fi. There's a storm out there in Michigan. So we're gonna be talking to him again. Hold on 1 second, and finish where we left off, fans. There you are. You back on?
Yeah, I'm back on now. You got me?
Yeah, Facebook. You know how that stuff works. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you're like in a bad. I was gonna say there's a storm out there too. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I'm sitting there, like, I can hear you, but I couldn't hear. Like, I don't think you could hear me.
Yeah. So I just said, there's a storm, technical difficulties. kill the air before. But anyway, yeah. So you were saying, what were we saying? We were saying, what the hell were we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where were we? Shit. Before we said something.
When I got in, yeah. I got in at the worst time frame of the business.
Yeah.
Promotions.
Yeah.
Promotions were having a hard time keeping their doors open because they couldn't afford to pay talent. Decent guys that wanted to work weren't going to work for them. Mm-hmm. So they were getting all these half-trained guys that would work for free or work for $10. And me being trained by 3 different people at the time frame, like it just wasn't a smart business move to keep working for a lot of those promotions. But
no.
I needed to get ring time in. I was trying to get as much practice as possible, and sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. Mm-hmm. But you pretty much get a lot of people talk about the hot dog and handshake, and that's about the extent of it during those first couple of years. And and then now, I mean, you look at how it is now compared to how it was when I started. The game the entire landscape has changed. Even for the independent scene.
Absolutely. I mean, look at WWE. They've crapped a lot now. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they, it's just that I turn away from their product. Like, I watch WrestleMania. I'll watch it when it's good. Remember how it was like good wrestling, and then now it's like it's a drama show. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, NXT. Don't get me wrong. NXT is awesome because we know who's getting their chance to earn it, and they deserve it. You know, and look where they are. You know.
Yeah.
That's the key for them. I mean, even the UK version of that too. Whatever they have. In 205. That's like the future of the wrestling right there for people to see who these wrestlers really are.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're looking at a lot of those guys now, and I'm looking at a lot of those shows, like with NXT, and even some of the guys now on Raw and SmackDown, and some of the guys that are even in the process of leaving the company. And a lot of these guys are guys that I used to do shows with.
Really?
Back in the day.
Really? No shit. No shit.
Yeah, for example, not to name drop or anything like that, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
I used to do a lot of shows with them in Michigan.
Oh, that's cool.
Dean Ambrose, we used to do Insanity Pro Wrestling when I was down there in Indianapolis. And HWA in the Cincinnati area when I was down there.
Right.
And then, guys now even on the NXT rosters, guys like Johnny Gargano. That was one of my first matches was against him in a scramble match.
Holy shit. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome to think, Yeah.
It's crazy to see a lot of those guys like Ricochet that I've been in the ring with.
Holy shit, that kid, man, that guy he's like one of those guys that made it. We're proud of him,
Oh yeah. It's crazy to see, and it makes me happy to see those guys that I used to see every week or every month in different areas. making it to that level and just killing it on the national level. It's phenomenal to see stuff like that.
And to watch the referees that we know to this day are like really good, like Drake Younger, you know, like come on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that used to be our monthly thing. Insanity Pro Wrestling in Indianapolis used to run the first Saturday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
When I was down there, it was. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Joseph Schwartz.
Yes, I do. Yes, and yes, yeah, I know him.
He does the bomb shelter gimmick now, but back in the day, at the beginning of our careers, we were running a tag team called the Kosher Club back in the day. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the places with Insanity Pro Wrestling where we reached kind of our biggest popularity in that time frame. Yeah. And that was like our things. Like we'd go down there and we'd like at the end of the show, like we'd be partying with the Naptown Dragons, Drake Younger, Scotty Vortex, OMG, Dean Ambrose, who's John Moxley at the time. Yeah. Like that was like, and now I see those guys on that level, and it's like it's awesome.
Yeah, I just saw. Did you see they just released his? They took. I think I just saw something on the internet or Facebook. They took down his profile off of the roster.
Ambrose, yeah.
Yeah, so we know he'll be anywhere. He could be anywhere that we don't know. You know, he's that guy.
He very well could be.
I know. He could go back to CZ Dub. Who knows? You know, like surprise, I'm back, son of a bitches. You know, shit. I mean,
yeah.
Or he could sign up with that AEW. Don't know. You know what I mean? Shit, AEW. You know.
You never know, and that's why I say, like, you look at the landscape now compared to where it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and, like, when I was first getting into everything, like, wrestling is cool again.
It really
when
is.
I got into the business, it wasn't cool because the only game in town was WWE, and then TNA had their weekly pay-per-views.
Yes, yeah.
And now you've got the WWE, which has expanded exponentially between having their two main roster shows and then their two NXTs and 205 Live. And it's only a matter of time before we start seeing more NXTs pop up in different countries, different regions.
Right.
Don't be surprised if you see NXT Japan in a few years or NXT Asia, NXT
UK,
Europe,
NXT, UK, Germany, shit, you know. Yeah. I mean, think about it.
And then like now you also have AEW coming in the mix, and prior to that we had Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan, getting the momentum that they have. Like,
I know.
Now it is probably the coolest time to be a professional wrestler.
And a wrestling fan, and a fan of wrestling, as you know, also a person, or you know, just to see all this shit. I mean, do you remember when PWG used to be so popular, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla?
Yeah, and that's a lot of like,
I know,
and that's another thing too is all these indie promotions that have these working relationships with the WWE and Impact and all that, like. Evolve that out of the East Coast and the Midwest area. They have, I guess they travel more than just East Coast and Midwest now. Think about it, but they have that huge indie following, but they also have that working relationship
and
with
also
WWE.
It's like I wish Game Changer did, but they they got a lot of connections too, you know. But they look where they are. Shit, L.A., Mexico, come on, you know. Across Japan. They're going to Japan. They're going to Japan, and that's going to be awesome, you know? Jun Kasai invited them to come to Japan for DDT, you know, their promotion, DDTU, you know? Come on. I mean, DDT, you know, the Japanese promotion, big job, you know? BJW.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't get to see that. Dude, when Kasai came here, it was like, holy shit. It was an honor to meet that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to see him...
it's just crazy to be able to see where all these people are now. It's a great time frame for something right now.
It is, and it just keeps on growing. You know?
Yeah, and even now, like you have the other platforms that are going on, not just with the promotions, but like you got the WWE Network, and then you've got all these other companies that are following suit with things like that. Like Fight Network now has multiple pro wrestling promotions on it.
It does. Do you ever watch that? You ever watch it? I watch it all the time. It's great.
Fight Network.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a subscription, but I have friends that have
Yeah.
subscription that occasionally I'll meet up with them. We'll
Yeah.
watch stuff on there.
Yeah, and you're like, holy shit, you know, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth the money. It's just to watch it. Because you can watch Ring of Honor, or you can watch MLW. Look at that, like MLW, they launched pretty good. They took off pretty quick, you know, for a while. They're still doing good, you know.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Is like there's all these promotions now that are offering it like opportunities for it to at least some extent national exposure.
Yeah.
Obviously, the WWE still kind of has a stranglehold on things, but with AEW coming in, that landscape may get tweaked a little bit. It may change some.
What do you think of that, huh? What did you think of that when that came around? When they announced like they were going to launch that, I was like, this is going to be something awesome. This is really, this is like what we needed a little because they did good there for their other event that they did, you know.
Exactly, and you know, I was a little bit like, okay, so when All In came about and everybody was hyped about it, I'm like, you can't say that nobody saw something like this coming. Like, the minute that the word broke that Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, and whoever else they were working with was putting together an Indy Super Show, like, that immediately got the wheels turning. If they weren't already turning prior to that, that immediately got the wheels turning for, okay, maybe we might see a new competitive company for the WWE or for the other promotions.
You know what? When they were doing like that you know, the All In, I was in Chicago, like leaving the next day from GCW. I could have gone to the pro wrestling t-shirt store and watched the conference going on. You know, Cody and Kenny were there. You know, I could have gone and seen that shit, but I was left for Jersey. You know, we drove.
Yeah, that's a hell of a drive too.
12-hour drive. Yeah, 12 hours.
Yeah,
a couple hours, whatever. We loved it. It was worth it. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, anything like that is worth it in my opinion.
But now you fly, it's more easier sometimes too.
Yeah.
And especially now Uber and all that other shit, you know, Lifty and this and that, because you could just go and be picked up. Forget.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, I was like right there. I would have loved to be like there for that conference just to hear him, you know. I would have been a holy shit, you know, but we left because I think the weather was getting shitty out. It was Sunday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but I got to meet Tito Santana at least that day.
Nice.
You know, can never leave Tito saying hello, you know. Of course, a Jersey person, so, you know.
Yeah.
You know, somebody you look up to when you're a kid, too. But.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who'd you grow up watching? Who was your favorites? Like old school?
I grew up in the time frame when like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and all that were really big, but it wasn't until a little bit later that I really got the inspiration from guys like Bret Hart. And then a lot of the ECW guys like Shane Douglas, Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that I like. Taz. Those are the guys that I watched the most. Those are the guys that I wanted to see more of.
Yeah.
Bret Hart was one of my favorites when it came to the WWE because he was never the biggest guy in the ring, at least not all the time, but he was one of the most technically sound, and he could show you that a guy that isn't 350 pounds, 6'7", could go in the ring just as good as any of those guys.
No. And what you think of what happened to him? That was uncool. At WrestleMania. That was
fucking Hall of Fame. Yeah,
that was not cool. That was not cool. You know, right after he was talking about Jim the Anvil. You know, come on, like we lost a guy. We want to hear his speech, and bam, this fan just does this little run-in for publicity. You know, whatever.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of footage of what they were doing to the guy afterwards. And I couldn't stop laughing. The guy deserved everything he got.
He did. Because that would have been a great finishing speech, you know, if they got, you know, if they didn't cut it off, but they had to, you know, whatever.
Yeah. instead some amateur MMA fighter had to
jump in
and cause an issue, all because he didn't like. And I guess the rumor, I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but the rumor is the guy apparently had been posting things online saying it's ridiculous that women are in the main event of WrestleMania and all that. And
oh, shit, yeah. And
that was his way of saying, oh, well, you know, this is actually what should be happening, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There are some very, very, I don't want to say dangerous, but you never know how dangerous somebody is until they're in the ring and are surrounded by however many security guards and other wrestlers, et cetera, the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for all we knew, that guy might have had a night and could have been specifically after Bret Hart for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And Lord knows what could have happened at that point. But luckily he wasn't armed. He was just throwing a fit for whatever reason, got in there and thought he was going to try and make a name for himself.
And he didn't. He just wasted his time. Just a stupid move. But what did you think of WrestleMania? It was pretty good, though. It was good WrestleMania. I liked it. I caught a lot of it, you know.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of this year's WrestleMania. I thought it was a good show top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, like, I was surprised with the opener being the Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar match, and I thought that was a really great way to start the show.
Yeah.
And the women's match, in my opinion, was very good. Great story being told.
Mm-hmm.
And every other match from in there, top to bottom, definitely hit the mark, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a couple of botches here and there, nothing serious, but nothing major.
Yeah, and then also it was, a cool moment was that there was a wrestler from New Jersey, or I guess was in the ring with Braun Strowman, Ike Phillips, you know. He got his quick 15 minutes of fame. You know how the wrestlers always get their fame, you know what I mean? Their little choke slam or whatever, you know, or get knocked over by the wrestlers, you know. So that was pretty cool to see his moment. He had his moment, you know.
Yeah, it's always good to see some, especially even like the Raw or SmackDown. It's always good to see some of the local guys get a moment to shine once in a while.
I know you see, you'll see them behind the, you know, doing like those stupid dance parties or whatever, you know.
Hey, any bit of exposure is good exposure, in my opinion, unless it's that MMA fighter that decided to try and make a name for himself.
Yeah, let him try it again. I bet she's banned from all shows now.
Oh, I bet.
Could you imagine? Yeah, nope, sorry, you can't come in. What? Too bad.
Right.
Keep going. You lost your spot. But, still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I thought I hit the end button.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So like we were saying, like you were saying about Bret Hart and you know, and just like he was, he definitely one of those guys that was, you know, out there for, you know, he had the perfect persona, you know.
Yeah, like, and he wasn't over the top too. Like some guys were like, some of the over the top stuff works. Like, you see the Ultimate Warrior back in the day, and the guys like Hulk Hogan is the ultimate example of kind of over the top.
Right.
Like, super baby face, like, super colorful, like larger than life persona. Bret Hart was a very mellow, down-to-earth persona in comparison to a lot of the guys of that time frame, but for some odd reason, he worked.
Yeah.
And that was always one of my things, like matches, watching him, you could see the contrast in personalities between him and like Roddy Piper, and him and obviously a huge difference in just like style and body type in general with Yokozuna, things like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, if I had to look at wrestlers, like, you know, how I like growing up, like, I'd say Hulk Hogan, you know, Macho Man, Ric Flair. Well, yeah, of course, Ric Flair. Everybody likes Ric Flair. I would like to say Paul Orndorff and Mr. Perfect, you know, and Ravishing Rick Rude and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat really were the guys that you think about it, you know? Also.
Yeah, and those are guys also that I used to love growing up. Especially Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect.
Oh,
because
and also Jake. Even Jake the Snake Roberts, cannot forget about him.
You know, absolutely. Like, he, in my opinion, one of the best talkers in the business of all time.
Yeah.
Like, one of the best promos. He didn't have to yell to keep your attention. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the best, like Hulk Hogan's the, you know something, brother.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, everybody else, like, Roddy Piper, I bring up again. He's just, like, out there, crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he'll go low, but then he'll go absolutely freaking nuts when he's, like, hiking, like, bringing the mood up and everything. And then you'll have guys like Macho Man who talking that low growl, and then they'll
yeah, you know, I'd kick your ass right now, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have the guys like Jake the Snake Roberts who talk in a very mellow tone at all times.
Yes.
And you see, and if you've ever seen the Jake Roberts documentary, he just talks about, I can't yell. I don't have the vocal capacity.
Yes.
You know, and he had a specific reason for it. I forget exactly what it was, but like, he was one of those guys that knew how to keep your attention without having to yell. And it's definitely a great contrast in the way things you could tell were being done for that time frame when it comes to promos and things like that.
And you know that his snake was always, that was just a gimmick to keep their, you know, those guys going. Like, that snake wouldn't be in the ring all the time, because I went to that. He was telling us about it. It was really cool. I went to that. He did a comedy tour. He did, like, his own comedy tour, talking about, like, his old school, you know, his days of wrestling, and, you know, his drinking days and all that stuff that happened. You know. But he said that, like, that was like a gimmick. You know, it was just in a bag, and he would just bring it out when they needed it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely one of those guys that's a lot of, it's very interesting to listen to once in a while too, with the stories he tells.
Oh, the stories! Oh my God, the stories he told about, like, Hogan, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan on road trips and shit. Oh my God, like him and like the snake would be in the back. Actually, this Damien, or whatever snake they had at the time, actually was crawling under the seat. They almost had an accident.
Oh, jeez.
Because it crawled right under this front seat, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. But no, Mr. Fuji was his. Also, he had him. He was telling some stories about how Mr. Fuji would be on the airplane doing pranks and shit, and he'd actually shit in his shoes, people's shoes. Put it on under the seats of the passengers of the wrestlers. They would never know it was him.
It's insane.
It is. And there was, like, a party in the hotel, and they had, like, I think it was Iron Sheik or somebody in the bed, or no, Hacksaw would sleep, and they'd put the snake out and piss them off, but they'd show their dicks. It was funny. It was sick, crazy stuff back then, but of course they were cocaine and all that crap was going, you know, the high back then was something, you know. But then, but it was great to hear his story and then how he recovered. You know, Diamond Dallas Page came into his life, you know, and did the yoga. And I'm proud of him. You know, we're all proud of him for that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's helped. Yeah. You know, DDP's helped a lot in the company, in any kind of, you know, even regular people. You know.
Oh yeah, Page helped a lot of guys in his time frame. It's actually awesome to see that.
Yeah.
Like, after he left the business, that he continued to contribute to the business with things like that. He's helping guys.
I know.
Guys like Scott Hall.
Yeah. And, like, what's the last time I saw Scott Hall was, like, he looked like shit or something, you know? You just, like, this guy looks like shit. You know, forget it. Can't even cut a promo on a mic. He's drunk, you know? Come on.
Yeah.
It's a shame with those guys. And it's all demons and shit, too, you know? That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I mean, they need to get out of their zone and go get the cleansing, you know?
Yeah, it's just good that some of these guys are, you know, coming to their senses and getting clean and getting better.
Yeah, not to be stupid. And now they realize that life is more important outside of wrestling also, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, what events have you ever gone to as a kid? Like, what would you go to? What have you been to?
As a kid, like, because my parents weren't really
into
wrestling fans,
yeah,
they never really took me or my brother into any of the shows or anything like that when they came through the areas.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until probably 2003 that I finally started going to live events and things like that. And up until that point, I had never even heard of independent wrestling.
Yeah, right.
I had heard of smaller promotions. Like, at that point, I had heard of TNA and I had heard of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But I didn't know enough about them. I didn't know that these guys were, like, independent guys. And, like, the first major show I went to was a Raw in Fort Wayne, Indiana in 2003. And then after that, like, I started going independent probably the following year, 2004, right before I started training. And the first independent show that I ever attended was at Dan Severn's training facility in Coldwater, Michigan, because that was how my buddy managed to convince me to come down. Like, he had me come down for a training session, check it out, and I found out they were doing a show that weekend. So I came in, checked out the show, and that was their that promotion. They were called MWA at the time, but then they switched their name later on to Price of Glory Wrestling. Yeah, and they that was their first Glory Cup tournament that they held every year, and that year they had Jimmy Jacobs and Shark Boy on it, and the rest of the guys on there were students of the school, and a couple of the trainers that were in the show too. One of the trainers being Jack Thriller.
Yeah. I remember
him. Sure if you're familiar with him.
Yes, I remember Jack Thriller.
Yeah, Jack Thriller. I can't remember who else was in that tournament that day. I want to say it was Jack Thriller, Shark Boy, Jimmy Jacobs, and I'm blanking on all the rest of the guys.
Yeah, so many guys. I know you can't keep. It's like we can't think of who we saw like when we were young. You know, like there's so many guys that were just coming into the business. You know. Yeah, and I had just turned 21 at the time, and that's when I was like that training session and that show were my deciding factors. Like, okay, I need to. I need to come to this school. I need to get trained. I need to. Yeah, I need to get into this. It's like me growing up. You know, like 9 years old, growing up, and you know, I had a good time in my life. I was like 9 years old. I didn't, you know, and local wrestling came around. It was Iron Mike Sharp had his wrestling school. You know, in my hometown, in my town, and I was lucky. $5, I'd go see Nova from ECW and X-Pac as the 1, 2, 3 Kid wrestle. You know, like just, and then fast forward, his brother used to run a promotion, Phoenix Championship Wrestling, which really launched the indie wrestling in the 90s, you know, with all the top names, Samoa Joe to you name it, you know, to all the tag teams and, you know, everybody you know now, you know. Then they had to close their doors, of course, you know, because they had problems too, like every promotion does, you know. But then I got you know, and I kept on going to local shows. Like Jersey had, like Jersey All Pro Wrestling was a big popular, you know, was a big thing. Jersey All Pro Wrestling came around, and like Pro Wrestling PWU came around, and like CZW. I really didn't get to CZW till like, you know, later in the years, you know. Yeah. I mean, I did get a chance though. I remember I was at a Ring of Honor show. I was at a pro wrestling. Yeah, it was a PWU show in Philly, and Ring of Honor was doing a show that night in, you know, at the Armory. It was the 100th year anniversary with CZW, and you know, the rival with Jim Cornette and, you know, Ring of Honor and this and that and CZW at the time. And I got to be on the. I had sat. Ring of Honor side was full. You know, the bleachers were all full, and I sat on the bleachers of CZW. There's Chris Hero, you know, and Super Dragon and Claudio. I'm like, hey, this is okay. I'll take this side, you know. And this was awesome. That was my chance to see Zandig at the time, you know.
You know. And it's crazy. Yeah. Crazy, like thinking back to like the early days when you have to run into those guys, and then you see them later on.
Yeah, and then it was pretty cool. I mean, I would go to the Ring of Honor shows local when Edison was, like, they would come into Ring of Honor. Was like, I didn't catch a lot of the Ring of Honor early in the days, but I got to see, you know, go to a couple of Edison shows, and actually it was there for, was it, they call it Death Before Dishonor 1, I think it was. or two, and CM Punk was facing Austin Aries before he left for the WWE. Like, I got to see the final, and then, like, I got to see Ring of Honor in Asbury Park when, like, Bryan Danielson, like, as, and Spanky, and,